Beautiful Friday night in Vancouver, and indoors it's the Canucks and the Wild as Vancouver looks to make it 2 wins in a row following the shutout victory over the St. Louis Blues. Tonight's starting goalies brought to you by Tim Hortons, official coffee of the NHL. Both netminders tonight coming off shutout performances. Darcy Kemper stopped 21 last night in Edmonton. His other shutout this season came in Nashville back in January. Eddie Lack's perfect performance against the Blues was his 3rd of the season. That set a club record for most shutouts by a Canuck rookie. A couple of players in this game approaching 1,000 games. Henrik Sedin plays his 994th for the Vancouver Canucks tonight, and his old teammate, sometimes line mate, Matt Cook for the Minnesota Wild. This is game number 996 for Cook. Both start on the bench as on the ice play is underway. Kessler back in the lineup for Vancouver and starting at center between Chris Higgins and the goal-scoring hero of the other night, Jannik Hansen. Early test for Lack. He blockers the puck to the corner. Wild hold it in. Quick shot by Pominville from right in front, and that went over top of the net. Higgins tips the puck out. Hansen is after it. He gets behind the defense. Jannik Hansen coming in. He shoots up high as he got behind Ryan Suter but missed the net. Now Hansen from the right wing corner. Passes back. Garrison, left point. Edler, wrist shot. That goes wide of the goal. Kessler after the rebound. Comes up with it on the left wing boards. Passes back. Garrison with a shot. Tipped by Higgins. And that went over top of the goal as well. Couple of chances for Vancouver after Pominville missed the net at the Vancouver end of the ice. Wild clear. Garrison passes up to Hansen. He'll stay out and move in. Jannik Hansen across. Daniel Sedin. Backhander stop. Hansen after the rebound. And the puck was in his skates. He couldn't dig it free. Hansen still out there. Passes back to Garrison. Wrist shot. And that hit Daniel Sedin in the left knee in front. Mikael Granlund brings the puck out. He's checked by Alex Burrows. Brodin breaks it up. And now Dan Hamhuis takes control for the Canucks. Oh, a giveaway by Garrison. Matt Cook gets the puck, tries to center. Garrison steers that behind the net. Now gets the puck again ahead to Henrik Sedin. Pass for Daniel, leaves for Henrik. Here's Hamhuis jumping up in the play. He backhands the puck into Minnesota territory. Nate Prosser goes back. Brodin clears the puck up the boards, and Mino Niederreiter starts out the center, but bobbles the puck, and the Canucks take it back. Hamhuis. Alex Burrows tips the puck into the Minnesota zone. Brodin back, finds Prosser in the corner. He throws a long one to center. Niederreiter to try to move in. Ryan Stanton over to check in. Here's Heatley with a wrist shot. Blocker saved by Lack. Niederreiter sends the puck around to the near side. There's Keith Ballard. His first return to this building since the compliance buyout and subsequently signing with his home state team. Zach Kassian taking on the defense. And Clayton Stoner got the arm into Kassian. They had words in the warm-up, Stoner and Kassian. And Kassian knocked down on that rush, and now they're going to have words at center.
They're going to chat again.
Clayton Stoner had the fight last night in Edmonton that left him with a gross-looking pinky finger, which they were able to pop into place.
Here's Zach Kassian trying to go one-on-one, outside, inside. Stoner just plays the chest. And here's Jannik Hansen on Ryan Suter. Lifts the stick. Suter complained to the referee that he was hooked, but that was a clean hook on the stick by Jannik Hansen. Created that chance.
Here's Tom Sestito wristing the puck into the Minnesota zone. Kemper out to play it. But his signals cross the Stoner. Settling pass, and Jordan Schrader had to go off the heel of his stick. Chris Tanev back in the lineup after missing 7 games. Canucks went 1-6 in his absence. Jordan Schrader. Puck comes back to him at center. He wrists it over the Minnesota blue line and heads to the bench on a change. Nate Prosser brings the puck forward and wrists one wide of the Vancouver goal. Brodin holds the line. Chance in the slot, and a backhander by Eric Holla steered to the corner by Eddie Lack. Puck comes free to Dan Hamhuis. He slides it forward to center. Intercepting is Zach Parise. Wild trying to move in. Now Parise backhands the puck into the Vancouver zone, and Hamhuis takes possession for Vancouver. Kessler with speed through center. Into the Minnesota zone. And offside. They say Jannik Hansen was in too soon on the right wing.
Jordan Schrader has a great chance after Darcy Kemper coughs this one up, throws it to the corner. And Schrader's right there. It comes by him, and that's the thing. When you're a confident player, you time that. You're facing the pass. You get your feet ready early, and that went off the heel of Schrader's stick because he didn't get set soon enough. And you're timing a little off after the long layoff. That's one of those you should bury from there.
Jared Spurgeon for the Minnesota Wild. This is an offside play. Wild will tag up as Kevin Bieksa starts in behind his net. Bieksa, pass on to the left wing. Henrik Sedin couldn't corral it. Spurgeon takes the puck again, gives it away to Daniel Sedin. Down the boards for Henrik, drops for Daniel. Daniel leaves for Henrik. Looking in front, passes behind the net for Daniel. He comes out of the right wing corner with the puck. Back to Bieksa, one-timer. He hooked it well wide of the goal. Pominville slides the puck forward, hoping to find Parise. Eddie Lack out to play it. Able to slide the puck free to Bieksa, and he chips it down to the Minnesota blue line. A little over 4 minutes in, no score. Canucks in the Wild. Pominville on the right wing. Wrist one on goal. Right pad saved by Lack. Parise from behind the net. Along the end boards to Pominville. Jason Pominville feeds the blue line. Vancouver penalty coming up. Kemper to the bench for the extra skater. Parise at the blue line. Fires for Pominville. Back in front for Parise. Knocked away by Kessler, but no whistles. It wasn't possessed by Vancouver. Here's a shot by Prosser. Lack to save. He hangs on. And the Canucks react a bit as Heatley tried to jar that puck free, but a hooking call will put Minnesota on the power play.
I thought this might be called a slash.
Vancouver number 22, minor penalty. Okay.
Daniel Sedin with the hook on Pominville. Cross-check after.
So the first power play of the game goes to Minnesota, 4 minutes, 43 seconds in. Canucks killed off all three they faced against St. Louis the other night. And there's an early test, a tip puck that Lack took off the right shoulder, it looked like. 2 straight games the Canucks have killed off all three. They did the same in Toronto right before the Olympic break. The 3-1 loss to the Leafs. Spurgeon and Ballard on the power play to start. Second unit begins for the Wild. Charlie Coyle in, left side pass. Niederreiter back in front for Coyle, and the pass was out of his reach. Ballard checked by Higgins, and here comes Ryan Kessler. Short-handed, in, shoots, scores! Fifth short-handed goal of the year for the Canucks as Ryan Kessler makes it 1-0.
And give Chris Higgins most of the credit on this one. It's Higgins along the boards in his own zone that is able to get this one out off his body and then chip it up to Ryan Kessler. Okay, no hand pass because Chris Higgins, with one hand on the stick, just slips it to Ryan Kessler, who beats Darcy Kemper short side. There's Higgins, one hand on the stick. Beautiful little play. And then Kessler, head up, right hand shot, wrong wing, gives himself a little more room, and he beats Darcy Kemper.
Hand looked okay there, didn't it?
It did.
Ryan Kessler has his 21st. And the Canucks take the lead here. While a man down. Power play continues for Minnesota. Zach Parise trying to feed the blue line. That was picked off by Richardson, allowing Alex Edler to send the puck the length of the ice. Fifth shorthanded goal allowed by the Minnesota Wild. And it produces the 1-0 lead for Vancouver. Here's Ryan Suter. Hard pass for Parise. And he missed it. Canucks took the ricochet. Edler to Henrik Sedin, and he sends the puck down the ice. Just past the 6-minute mark, first period. 35 seconds to go in the Minnesota power play. Coyle in with a pass to Heatley. Back for Charlie Coyle. Tried to center on the backhand. That was broken up. Henrik Sedin after the puck in the corner. Tanev's there as well. Henrik goes down in the battle. Heatley falls on top of him. As Tanev continues to fish for the puck, it gets loose behind the net. Hanhuster up for Hansen, but he couldn't handle the pass. Heatley checked. Henrik Sedin finds an opening, gets the puck out. Hansen giving chase, but Pominville's there first. Penalty to Daniel Sedin comes to an end. For the Wild, fail to score with the man advantage, and they give up the shorthanded goal that opens the scoring. Dangerous play by Garrison as he brought the puck towards the front of his net, but the Canucks get it out, and here comes Higgins. Checked by Jonas Brodin. Garrison back in his own zone. Around for Ryan Stanton. Ahead to Zach Cassian into the middle. Here comes Kessler, but he was checked by Kyle Brodziak, who wheels back. Cook with a one-timer and a stick saved by Lack. Justin Fontaine centers. Cook another shot, and Lack able to smother that one. As Matt Cook had 2 cracks on goal for the Minnesota Wild. Cook trying to tie it because the Canucks have the lead. Ryan Kessler shorthanded his 21st, and it's 1-0.
Wanted to design your own goalie mask? Well, now's your chance with the Canucks Design a Mask contest presented by Boston Pizza. You could win a replica goalie mask made with your own design and 2 tickets to a Canucks game. Visit a participating Boston Pizza in the Lower Mainland and ask your server for a coloring sheet to get started. Boston Pizza, official family restaurant of the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah, that's what you ask your server for, John. Coloring sheet.
Yes. Nachos and some coloring.
1-0 Canucks, 7.5 minutes into the first. Minnesota's actually outshot Vancouver 5-3 to this point. Richardson blocks that. Tip-in try, and now takes a drop pass from Zach Cassian. Wrist shot off the blocker of Darcy Kemper. Edler from the point. Oh, he caught the post for that one. Cassian at the side. That puck gloved away from the crease into the corner. Minnesota clears. Tanev knocks the puck down. Looks up ice with a pass to Cassian. He's able to tip it through for Richardson, who plays the puck deep, and the Canucks will start a change. Kyle Brodziak skates out to center for Minnesota. Plays the puck forward. Canucks turn it the other way. Second shift as a forward here for Rafi Diaz. Playing on the 4th line with Jordan Schrader in the middle and Tom Sestito on the left. Stefan Veilleux risks the puck into the Vancouver zone. Veilleux ended a goal drought with one of the 3 tallies for the Wild last night in Edmonton. Canucks overloading in the corner here. Wild trying to get the puck in front. Now it's sent back to Ballard. Wrist shot. Scores! Might have hit Eric Holla in front. And they're going to wave it off. No goal.
Man in the crease.
Brad Meyer washing it out as Holla was in tight on Vancouver goaltender Eddie Lack, and it remains 1-0 Canucks.
Canucks get a break on this one.
No goal on the play. We have interference in the goaltender. No penalty as well. Face-off.
I don't think Eddie Lack would have stopped this one anyway. There's a player in the crease, and you can see that is, oh boy. It's off a skate, off the post and in.
Minnesota bench reacting as you might expect. That is
and it's waved off. And you can see Eddie Lack is quite thankful that it is waved off.
Mike Yeo up on the bench, voicing his displeasure. That was about as borderline as you can get, don't you think?
Brad Meyer made the call, though, right away.
Yeah, he was right on it.
And he's saying that Eddie Lack couldn't go across with Holla there.
The skate initially came right through close to Lack, but then he kind of set up camp
Just
outside.
Non-reviewable.
8:33, the time of the disallowed goal. Let's have one more look.
Here's a scramble by the Canucks as they all get chasing the puck. Keith Ballard might have got credit for that goal.
Scored his first goal in this building as a member of the Phoenix Coyotes. And if that was going to be his, he's denied one there. Ballard had come in with 2 goals in his last 7 games after going 114 without scoring. There's a blocker save by Kemper off Dan Hamhuis and a foray up the ice. Hamhuis stays deep in the Minnesota zone, trying to kick the puck towards Chris Higgins. Now he gets it on his stick. Turns. Pass for Higgins, broken up. And Parisi looks up ice. Pominville trying to get behind the defense, picks up the puck on the right wing. Down behind the Vancouver goal. Pass to Parisi, checked by Ryan Kessler. Suter holds the puck in. Behind the net for Pominville. Hamhuis moves to check him. Kessler after the loose puck in the corner. Fighting off the check of Parisi, able to slide it forward to Chris Higgins. And he'll backhand the puck in before heading to the bench. Closing in on the halfway mark of the first period. 1-0 Canucks on the goal by Ryan Kessler, shorthanded. Danny Heatley charges after his own chip in. Edler plays the puck around. Henrik Sedin can't clear. Here's Suter, slap shot, blocked. Getting in front of that one was Tanev, and here come the Sedins. Burrows as well. Daniel Sedin in front. Burrows couldn't settle the puck as he was being checked from behind by Nino Niederreiter. Daniel Sedin again from behind the net. Saucers to Henrik. Blue line feed. BX with a one-timer, and that hit the pile in front. Henrik Sedin behind the net for Daniel Sedin. Daniel along the end boards to Burrows. Henrik in the corner. BX is in deep. Daniel gets the puck. Burrows couldn't get a shot away. He was checked by Danny Heatley just as he went to pull the trigger. Niederreiter checked by Edler at the Vancouver blue line. And Alex Edler winds up with the puck. Pass to Zach Kassian, who's come onto the ice. Kassian waiting for help. Dumps the puck to the near corner. David Booth after it there. Runs into Keith Ballard. Wild get the puck to the line, held in by Jason Garrison. Keith Ballard once more. And this time Fontaine able to tip the puck outside the line to center. Kassian backhands the puck in behind the Wild goal. Kemper shoots it around. Kassian couldn't knock it down, but it's held in. Garrison with a shot. Richardson looking for the deflection. Kemper made the save. Now a centering pass for Booth, who gets it on the backhand. Puck knocked off his stick. Fontaine picks it up for the Wild and sends it off the glass and out. Under 9 minutes to go in the first. Kassian to David Booth. Shoots the puck around for Richardson. Back for Kevin Bieksa. Here's a centering pass intended for Booth, but the puck went by him. Chris Tanev has gone to the Vancouver dressing room. I don't know if it was from that shot block.
I think it was. He very gingerly made his way to the bench.
Tanev walking it off in the tunnel, we're told. Remember, Canucks have 7 defensemen dressed. They can use Rafael Diaz, but Tanev emerges towards the Vancouver bench, and maybe he'll be all right. Here's Nate Cross over the shot. And gobbled up by Eddie Lack, who hangs on with his team up 1-0 over Minnesota.
We all know Jeff Vinik from Behind the Lens, a popular thing on Canucks.com. He's got his own blog as well. He was in Sochi. He shot every hockey game. 3 a day. Tons of shots. Log on. You won't regret it. Live the game with the new Windows. One device for everything in your life.
Put your hands together. He's so good.
He is unbelievable.
Gets all sorts of embarrassing pictures of us in those Behind the Lens, but thankfully Derek Jory chooses never to post them. Here's a shot by Pominville that hit Tanev in front, and he's limping again. Chris Tanev struggles to the Vancouver bench, and he'll be replaced by Jason Garrison. Tough start to his return to the lineup for Chris Tanev, who's trying to shake it off for Vancouver. 1-0 Canucks, just under 8 minutes to go in the first period. Chris Higgins, quick pass to Jannik Hansen. Gets to the Minnesota line and flips the puck in. Brodin goes back. Hansen, hit him from behind in the corner. There'll be a Vancouver penalty to Jannik Hansen for that. Brad Meyer over to check on Jonas Brodin, who seems like he'll be all right. Hansen hearing about it at center ice before heading to the box.
And Brodin, you can see he looks like he's going to go in behind the net, then turns the other way. I think he's going to be all right. Talking to the trainer, has got his mouth guard out. Looks very clear-headed there.
Minor penalty for boarding to Jannik Hansen at 12:27, and the second power play for the Minnesota Wild. And Brodin just now getting to his feet, and he'll make his way to the Minnesota bench.
You could see that it looked like he was going to turn behind the net, and that's what Jannik Hansen was lining the hit up. And then when he turned the other way, Hansen couldn't change his mind.
Canucks scored on the last Minnesota power play. Ryan Kessler, the only goal of the game, shorthanded. And you see the absence of Chris Tanev, who has left the bench again with trainer Mike Bernstein. Here's Granlund for Minnesota. Pass to Zach Parise. Now Suter right side. Pominville slap shot stopped by Eddie Lack. Edler gets the loose puck behind the goal. Works it free to Kevin Bieksa, who rings it around. Off Granlund and out to center ice. Ryan Suter. Left side pass, Heatley in. Danny Heatley finds Pominville. Parise couldn't take that pass clean. Now it's thrown in front. Pominville open. Wrist shot. Glove save by Eddie Lack. Picked it right out of the air.
That's the thing when you're so aggressive on your penalty kill like the Canucks are. If you don't come up with the puck, when you have three guys in the corner chasing it, somebody's going to be wide open. There's three Canucks chasing. Pominville's wide open, and Eddie Lack bails them out.
Minute 20 to go on the Minnesota power play. Jannik Hansen off for boarding. And Coyle settles in for the face-off against Ryan Kesler. Fontaine to Spurgeon. Goal line feed. Coyle centering pass deflected to the blue line. Spurgeon holds it in. Here's Brodin back to Spurgeon. That shot hit something in front and went wide of the goal. Cleared to the line. Wild hold it in. Brodin and a right pad save by Eddie Lack on that one-timer that was labeled for the stick side corner. Wild start from their own end. 40 seconds to go in the power play. Mike Bernstein has returned to the Vancouver bench, but Chris Tanev was not with him. Heatley trying to get the puck to the blue line. Still loose in the corner. Played behind the net to Parise. Back to Pominville. Under 20 seconds to go in the power play. Parise with a shot. He scores! Through the screen in front. Zach Parise wristed that one in, and a power play goal ties the game at 1.
We talked about Danny Heatley before the game and how much more he's playing and the confidence that Mike Yeo is showing in Heatley, something he didn't at the start of the season. And there was Heatley, that big body in front on the Parise shot. Pominville to Parise, and Parise left-hand shot, good angle, and there's Danny Heatley right in front of Eddie Lack. Eddie Lack trying to look through Alex Edler and Heatley and can't find it. Goes right between them and up and over the shoulder of Eddie Lack.
So the Wild surrender one on their first power play, but get one on their second. They're 1 for 2. Parise with his 20th ties the game. David Booth inside his own blue line. Sends the puck down into the Minnesota zone. Brodin being pursued by Cassian. Crosser tips the puck ahead. Stanton moves down from the left point. Wrists one on goal. Stopped by Darcy Kemper. Richardson jamming at the puck. Here's a backhand attempt by Cassian. And Kemper came across with the left pad to make the save. Booth with Kemper minus his goal stick. So the Wild come up with the puck. Cook brings the puck out, and Darcy Kemper has his stick back. Pominville and Heatley get the assists on the Parise equalizing goal. And Danny Heatley extends his point streak with that one. Here's Tom Sestito trying to break it. Hansen taking a double shift on this one. Likely, I'm guessing, with Diaz dropping back to play on defense, John, in the absence of Chris Tanev. Here's Hansen in front. Puck knocked away from him. And Charlie Coyle gets it to Niederreiter. Back to Coyle. In over the Vancouver line on the right wing. He slides the puck to the corner. Garrison one-hands it around for Hansen, who's tripped up. Under the check of Niederreiter. Play goes on, and Jordan Schrader gets the puck out. Keith Ballard sends it back in, hard around to the far side. Cook there. Here's Brodziak. Looking in front, centering pass, comes onto the right wing board. Spurgeon there with a shot, and Lack got the left pad on it. 11th shot for Minnesota. Canucks have had 8 in a 1-1 hockey game. Andrews starting out of his own zone. Dangerous pass picked up by Pominville. He centers the puck. Parise fired it wide after the giveaway by Andrews. Here's Granlund centering. Pominville took a swing at the puck but couldn't make contact. Granlund from the corner. Pass blocked by Andrews. Chris Higgins picks up the loose puck. And his pass to center is picked off by Pominville. Granlund skates back into the Vancouver zone. Mikhail Granlund with a wrist shot and a stick save by Lack. Cassian at his stick slash couldn't move the puck out. Garrison, another attempt to clear. That was blocked. Tried to get it around the inboards. That didn't get through either. Wild with Good pursuit of the puck in the Vancouver zone. It's center for Parise, and his shot attempt is blocked by Handhughes. Kessler finally able to relieve the pressure, and Higgins pokes the puck down into the Minnesota end.
Boy, that Parise line, they throw the puck around so well. You have to be aware when they're on the ice.
Chris Tanev is back, and he's onto the ice for this shift with Alex Edler. Tanev from the corner, up the middle to Alex Burrows. Burrows to Henrik Sedin. He finds brother Daniel, who moves in on the left wing. Daniel cuts wide, stops in the corner, passes back to Tanev. Tanev with a wrist shot, didn't get through. Edler after the rebound, clear to the side. Daniel Sedin is there. Shoots the puck around for Henrik. 2.5 minutes to go in the first. 1-1 tie. Daniel from behind the net. Looking in front. Burrows trying to get position. Henrik Sedin is there as well. Daniel Sedin still with the puck. Pass to Burrows. Wrist one in front. That was blocked by Coyle. And Minnesota's Nino Niederreiter starts out with the puck and flips it down into the Vancouver zone. Edler skates forward to center. Passes to Kevin Bieksa. Here's Richardson down the right wing. Backhanding one on goal. That's gloved by Kemper. And he'll hang on for the whistle with just over 2 minutes to go in the first. A 1-1 tie. And Alex Burrows felt this. Might need those tires again on Sunday, we're told. There could be a little snow on Heritage Classic Day. Wouldn't that be something, John?
That would be nice. Last Sunday more than a little snow.
Yeah. Zach Kassian for Vancouver. Hard pass to Kevin Bieksa. Puts the puck on the forehand and risks the puck in. Clayton Stoner takes possession for the Wild and sends it off the glass and out. Stoner and Kassian came together again on that play. Minute 20 to go in the first. Bieksa with the puck. Alex Edler broke his stick making a pass. Here's Eric Holla with a shot and lacked the save, and more importantly, no rebound. With Edler playing without a stick, he doesn't need one to throw down the player in front, and a big scrum in the goal mouth. Maybe frustrated with that stick breaking right in half on a simple pass up the middle.
Check out PlayNow.com and bet live during the game. If you gamble, use your game sense.
I can understand why Alex Edler's upset at this. Okay, if stick's broken, here's the shot, but look at how long it takes. Eddie has complete control. And then the Wild come in very late, and Alex Edler didn't like that.
Stays out with a new stick. Face off in the Vancouver zone with just over a minute to go in the first. Torrey Mitchell plays the puck to the far corner. Holla there with a hit on Tanev. Kessler working to get the puck out. Able to get to the line, and now it's outside the center. Holla rifles it back in. Stefan Veilleux tips the puck behind the goal. Kessler trying to reverse, gets it to the corner. But Hansen didn't see the puck coming, and Minnesota sets it up again, but it's by Brodin and out to center. Ryan Suter. With 30 seconds to go in the period. Pass tipped away. Higgins couldn't catch up. Now Edler ahead for Henrik Sedin. Higgins plays the puck over the line, but Minnesota takes it back. Handhughes picks that one off and finds Jason Garrison. Pass ahead is off Hansen and deep into the Minnesota zone. Daniel Sedin gives chase. Finds Henrik Sedin. Henrik behind the net to Daniel. Centering pass for Burrows. Didn't get to the front, but Burrows gets the puck to Henrik Sedin. Henrik to the crease and knocked away on the horn. Canucks with some late pressure, but they'll skate off in a 1-1 tie.
This period brought to you by the 2014 Toyota Corolla. All new styling, same quality, durability, and value. Available now at the Toyota Drive Home a Deal event.
After Ryan Kessler opened the scoring, Zach Parise tied it. He and the Wild heading off, as are the Canucks after 20 minutes. We'll hear from Ryan Kessler. He'll be chatting with Joey Kenward in just a moment. And our panel tonight, We'll feature Dan Murphy, Nate McIntyre, of course, along with Tony Gallagher. That's all ahead. We're through 1-1, the Canucks in the Wild here in Vancouver.
Welcome back to Vancouver. Just about ready for second period puck drop. First period scoring summary looks like this. Kessler is 21st shorthanded before Zach Parise, his USA teammate and associate, tied it up with his 20th of the season. That goal coming on the power play. Well, it's just a couple of days away. It's the Heritage Classic. Time running out to get your tickets for the Heritage Classic game to be held BC Place Sunday between the Canucks and Senators. We're running out of time to be part of Vancouver hockey history. Go to Ticketmaster.ca or call 1-855-985-5000.
Got to look at my broadcast location.
Yes. So if you make any mistakes, we'll know.
It'll be challenging.
They were talking about the roof was open today, and it was chilly in there, but it was really a great location, and the ice looked very good already. Teams practice on it tomorrow.
There's Chris Tanev, who had to leave the game a couple of times in the first period. His return to the lineup. Bit of a rough go with some shot blocks that felled him, but he's out to start period 2 with Alex Edler on defense. Ryan Kessler broke his stick right on the faceoff. He hustles to the bench, grabs a new one from the ever-ready Patty O'Neill, and now he's onto the puck. Higgins blocks the clearing attempt of Suter. Edler moves down from the left point. Higgins couldn't come up with the puck, and Edler corrals it at center. Ahead for Higgins, who backhands it into the Minnesota zone. Kemper finds Ryan Suter. Parise takes a lead pass. Pominville on the right wing slams the puck into the Vancouver zone. David Booth drops it back for Tanev. Went off his stick right in front, but Eddie Lack was alert to play it away, and here comes David Booth. In on the right wing, trying to stiff arm on Justin Fontaine. Matt Cook winds up with the puck in center, lead pass, and Nate Prosser has it on the left side. Prosser waiting behind the net. Centering pass by Brodziak, loose, cleared away by Richardson, and the puck is out to center, tipped back in by Jonas Brodin. A little over a minute into the second, a 1-1 tie, and Booth takes a lead pass, moves in on the left wing with a wrist shot, and that was off a leg and wide. Battle for the puck behind the net, Booth gets it in the corner. Cycles behind the goal, out of the reach of Richardson. Prosser picks up the puck, headmans to Heatley, who shifts inside before passing to Brodziak, who gets the puck to Cook, and it's in behind the Vancouver goal. Both teams completing another change as Handhuse starts from behind the net. Pass ahead to Daniel Sedin. He gets the puck to Henrik Burrows going to the net. Henrik drops for Daniel. One-timer. And I think Burrows might have tipped it, and then Kemper made the save. Charlie Coyle back the other way. Pass to Heatley on the left wing. Wrist shot gloved by Lack. Niederreiter going hard to the front, but no rebound to be had.
Good play by Henrik and Daniel to set up the shot from Daniel. Daniel chipped it up the boards to Henrik. Back to Daniel. Shot. And Alex Burrows does tip that one. Just goes wide. He's in perfect position. And that's the way it's going for Alex Burrows.
That trio stays out for Vancouver for the face-off in the Canucks end. Henrik Sedin wins the face-off. Ryan Stanton from behind the goal. Puck played ahead. Wild take possession inside their blue line. Ryan Suter leading the NHL in average ice time, just under 30 minutes per game.
Had an easy first period, only 9:18.
Kevin Bieksa flips the puck forward. Spurgeon back, checked by Daniel Sedin. Kicks the puck behind the net for Henrik. He and Daniel in close quarters trying to set up an offensive chance, but Spurgeon comes up with the puck ahead to Torrey Mitchell. His pass for Veilleux was out of his reach. Bieksa with a neat shift to find some room. Now he's in on the right wing. Puck knocked away from him. Bieksa able to send it into the corner. Sestito throws a hit there, but Spurgeon has the puck ahead to Veilleux. Stefan Veilleux plays chipping charge on Alex Edler. They take their battle to the corner. Henrik Sedin trying to get the puck up the boards. Tipped out by Rafael Diaz. And Granlund passes back in his own zone for Keith Ballard. Bieksa got his stick on that one. It's into the Minnesota bench, into the hand of assistant coach Rick Wilson as we check in with Murph.
Thanks, John. I'd like to remind everyone to play Safeway's $1 million score and win. If any Vancouver player scores 5 goals in tonight's game, Todd Yamamoto of Delta could win $1 million.
Johan Franzen could have had 5 last night in Ottawa. Had 3, a couple of other chances.
Isn't he the last to score 5 in a game in the NHL?
I think you're right.
A couple of years ago. Clayton Stoner hit by Higgins as he played the puck out, brought back in offside.
John, you talked about Chris Tanev in the first period, how it was a rough period. He had a thumb injury, a broken thumb, and here he's taking it off the leg and hobbled to the bench. Went to the dressing room, came back, and very next shift that he's out there, a wrist shot, and he's turned backwards on that one. And that's the way the first period went for him.
Hamhuis and Garrison out there right now for Vancouver. Jason Garrison with the puck, pass to David Booth. Flips it into the Minnesota zone. Kemper out of his net. Able to get it by Kassian, and the puck out to center onto the stick of Hamhuis. Hamhuis carries all the way back behind his net. Still with the puck behind the goal. Now finds Kassian up ahead for Richardson at center. Booth's after the puck, after the body as well on Prosser. Matt Cook forces the puck into Vancouver territory, and Garrison takes it away with a pass to Kassian. Just past the 4-minute mark, second period, 1-1 tie. Kassian picks up the puck and moves in. Drops for Booth. Slap shot, glove saved by Kemper, who was leaning a bit right, then reached back with the glove, and Kassian in front in a bit of a shoving match.
A nice play by Zach Kassian to David Booth. No screen. And Kemper sees it all the way and able to hang on.
We've got more Grapefruit League action. Blue Jays on Sportsnet. Yankees Jays Sunday 9:30 in the morning. You can catch it right here on Sportsnet. I don't know who's on the hill.
No. I wonder if Derek Jeter has to play any preseason games this last season. What do you think?
I want to get a couple in there.
Couple.
Daniel Sedin with a hard pass in front. Burrows couldn't make contact. Heatley clears the zone. Loose puck at center. Wild tried to chop it in and went the other way. Here comes Henrik Sedin towards the goal. Henrik shoots. Stopped by Kemper. He wanted to pass to Burrows. It wasn't there. Kemper playing pass a bit was able to recover and make the save. Henrik Sedin moves back in. Pass in the middle. Kevin Bieksa shoots, and that's off the stick of Heatley and over the glass for a whistle.
Darcy Kemper is a big goaltender. He's like Eddie Lack. He's 6'5", 210. And he was cheating pass. Here's Henrik. He's looking past. But Kemper stayed back and came across. Kemper stays with Henrik. Able to make the save. Henrik was looking past, and the goalie never budged.
Canucks win the face-off. Chris Tanev with a shot. Kemper had a little trouble with that, made the save with the glove. Here's Jordan Schrader back to Tanev. Another one wide of the goal. Edler gets to the puck. Sends it behind the net. Sestito there for Vancouver. Finds some room in the corner. Leaves for Rafi Diaz, who spins behind the net. Diaz to the blue line. Edler back around behind the goal. Puck goes off Sestito's stick right to Schrader. Haula disrupted the pass intended for Sestito. Still, the Canucks hold the puck in the Minnesota zone. Chopped out by Mitchell. Haula racing after, but Schrader gets there first. Chris Tanev up to Tom Sestito. Puck knocked away from him. Schrader hustles after it in the corner. Plays it around to the near side. Diaz goes after it for Vancouver. Battling Stefan Veilleux as well as Mikhail Granlund, who comes away with the puck. Granlund ahead to Pominville. Garrison plays the puck behind his net. Hamhuis there. Pass to Garrison and back around for Dan Hamhuis. Diaz, end of his shift, finds Chris Higgins. Kessler goes towards the goal as Higgins moves in, flips one towards the net. Kessler gets the puck and tips it behind the goal. Suter intercepts, spins away from Higgins. 6 minutes into the second, a 1-1 tie, and Dan Hamhuis chases back for a loose puck. Minnesota 5-1-2 in its last 8 coming into this game as Kessler moves it. Suter got his stick on that one. The Olympic teammates and Ryan Suter deflecting the puck over the glass for the whistle.
Passes to the amazing Flyover exhibit at Canada Place. 2 Canucks yearbooks and a team store discount. Visit Canucks.com/fanpacks for more info.
If you're wondering why the fans are coming to their feet, they just acknowledged members of the 1994 Canuck team that are in attendance and going to be part of the Heritage Classic festivities on the weekend.
Showing them on the Jumbotron now.
Jeff Cornell. You can see Greg Adams in behind. Who will forget the overtime winner on Felix Potvin that propelled the Canucks into the Stanley Cup final. Daniel Sedin in a 1-1 tie drives the puck into the Minnesota zone. Ryan Suter sends it the other way, pass to Spurgeon, up ahead for Fontaine. Tips the puck past Bieksa, now tries to center on the backhand. Brodziak hit the official with that when it comes to Suter. Long shot, and that hit Matt Cook in the skate as he went to the front of the net. Suter again. Cook couldn't take the puck cleanly behind the goal. Fontaine sends it the other way, and Ryan Stanton has some room to pick up the puck and make a play. Up for Henrik Sedin, deflects the puck over the Minnesota line and heads to the bench as the Wild move out. Suter drives the puck in from center. David Booth winds up with it. Lead pass for Kassian, couldn't knock it down, and Brodin ahead of the race, so it's an icing call against Vancouver.
If you drive on snow and ice, you don't want all-season tires. You want all-weather tires. Get Nokian's most advanced all-weather tire, the WRG3 at Cal Tire.
Well, Safeway's featured participating product for tonight's game between the Canucks and Wild is Campbell's Chunky Soup.
The forwards got changed on that icing, but the defense is tired. Stanton and Bieksa never had a chance.
Stanton gets the puck to Richardson. He's able to clear it out. Wild send it the other way quickly so as not to allow the Canucks to make that defensive change. Maybe they didn't want to. As Pominville deflects the puck behind the net, Lack to the corner, Bieksa up the middle and out. Not enough for icing, and now Stanton and Bieksa are able to get to the Vancouver bench. Forwards will change as well. Kessler's back onto the ice with Higgins and Hansen. 8 minutes into the second, a 1-1 tie. Canucks have outshot Minnesota 4-1 so far in this period. Shots are 14 apiece, and Eddie Lack gloves that one, allowing us another opportunity to check in with Murph.
Guys, just 2 days left before the big game. Gear up for the Heritage Classic at the Canucks team store, where you'll find the largest selection of authentic Heritage Classic merchandise. Visit the location, Gate 6, Rogers Arena, or at Robson and Thurlow.
Look from high above as play resumes in the Vancouver zone. Wild. Charlie Coyle handed the puck to Jannik Hansen. He flips it forward to Chris Higgins. Higgins over the Minnesota line on the right wing. Chases after the puck in the corner. Bumps with Clayton Stoner. They continue to battle. Higgins comes up with the puck, trying to bring it out front. Knocked away into the corner. Hansen there for Higgins. Ballard's on him now. Chris Higgins to the corner. Now feeds back. Tanev with a drive, and he just missed the net. Edler throws it in front. Kessler on the backhand. Shoots. Stopped by Kemper, who took that in the breadbasket, and he gets the whistle.
Nice play by Chris Higgins again to set up that shot from Chris Tanev. And Tanev just misses. Darcy Kemper followed it all the way and then is able to get back in position on the backhand for Ryan Kessler. He is able to see that rebound go right out to Kessler.
They take a seat. Sedins and Burrows back out for the face-off in the Minnesota zone. And the Wild win that one. Minnesota's won 13 of 23 face-offs so far. Ryan Suter with the puck in his own zone. Spurgeon gives it back to him. Burrows blocked that lead pass. Now the puck sent in, and Eddie Lack will come out to settle it behind the goal. Jason Garrison up for Henrik Sedin. Puck went off his stick, and it rolls into Minnesota territory. Spurgeon back. Leaves in the corner for Suter. Long lead pass. Fontaine on the right wing with a wrist shot. Big rebound. Lack steering it towards Rafi Diaz, who backhands the puck out. Ahead of the play is Schrader. Down the right wing with a wrist shot. Big rebound. Just got by Daniel Sedin. Looks like he might have been clipped in the face on that play. Daniel checking for damage as he heads to the bench. Puck hit the linesman as the Wild tried to get it in. They'll blow it down. Daniel Sedin, a close call there on a rebound chance.
Well, George Schrader, a good shot. Good low shot, so the rebound's there. And Daniel couldn't make contact. Ryan Suter's stick caught him in the face. And no call.
Daniel looks all right. Nearing the halfway mark of the second. His team in a 1-1 tie with Ryan Suter's Minnesota Wild. Brodin with the puck. Passes to Prosser. Couldn't get it through center, so he'll have to chase back and try again.
John Tortorella more conscious of the line matchups here in the second period. He's got Kessler out against the Parisi line.
Edler gains the rep, sends one in on Kemper, who steers the puck to the corner. Granlund winds up with it, tips it out, and Alex Edler sends it back the other way. Ryan Kessler has his pass deflect to Higgins. Edler finds Tanev, who bounces one in, and Kemper had to be careful with that puck as it skipped in towards him, grabbed it with the glove, and got the whistle in a tie hockey game with this just over half done here in Vancouver. Bake. What does John Evans store tonight? It's brought to you by Subway. Given to the bold taste of barbecue pulled pork at Subway restaurants. Just $5 for a 6-inch sandwich, but only for a limited time. Subway, eat fresh.
Something a little different in this one. Ryan Kessler taking the face off. There goes the stick. Well, who's the quickest guy on the bench? Patty O'Neill. Trainer there with Ryan Kessler. Gets his own stick instead of somebody else's. And ready to go. It's amazing to me how Patty at his age is still so quick.
You'll hear about that.
Yes, I'm sure.
And then you'll hear about that.
Yes.
Nino Niederreiter with a pass to Mikhail Granlund. Fell down as he tried to make a play. Canucks break out. 4 of them to center. Brad Richardson in on the left wing. Richardson towards the goal. Tipped on net by Booth on a left pad save by Darcy Kemper. David Booth's goal-scoring struggles continue. 21 without. You have to go back to mid-December, but he had a good chance there. Here's Kevin Bieksa. Wristing one on net. Didn't get through. Granlund got in front of it. Richardson from the corner. Knocked to his knees. Puck comes to the blue line. Past Bieksa down to the Vancouver line. Bieksa tips the puck back. Stanton gets it behind the goal. Now Bieksa with 8.5 minutes to go in the second. Shots are 9-3 Canucks in the middle frame. With no goals here in the second after Kessler shorthanded and Parisi on a power play traded tallies in the first. Daniel Sedin with a shot attempt didn't get through. Henrik Sedin after the puck. Plays it to the corner. Burrows hustles in on Stoner, gives him a bump as the puck comes to Daniel Sedin. Behind the net for Henrik. He was checked by Ballard. Cook and Garrison collide. And the puck is played out to center. Brodziak's behind the defense. In on the left wing towards the goal, and a backhander wide as he was pounded by Dan Hamhuis. Daniel Sedin tries a lead pass. That'll be icing, and the faceoff comes back into Vancouver territory.
Well, last time these two teams met, December 17th, back 2013. In that one, David Booth scoring a goal. That's the last time he scored. That was 21 games ago, fellas.
Well, here's Brad Richardson, and David Booth almost got this one. A great glove save by Darcy Kemper, just off the toe of his glove.
Wild control off the draw, and a blocker save by Eddie Lack on that test from Ryan Suter. Coyle after the puck for Minnesota. Back to Suter. Here's Spurgeon. fakes the shot, and again, Suter, middle of the ice, wrists one towards the goal. That went off Coyle and trickled wide of the net. Puck loose at the side, Hamhuis tips it to Daniel Sedin. He slides the puck forward, and another icing, so they won't be able to get their change as Daniel ices the puck once more. But on the whistle, we can tell you about some BPL action. It's coming up tomorrow, 6:30 in the morning, Everton versus West Ham. That's on Sportsnet World. Same time, you can see Fulham and Chelsea on Sportsnet Pacific. And that's followed by Southampton and Liverpool at 9 in the morning. Barclays Premier League exclusively on Sportsnet.
Boy, Dan Hamhuis stalled there. He had the puck in the corner pretending like he was going to flip it to the linesman and beat it to death for about 20 seconds to give the Sedin line a little time to rest.
Daniel out. Trying to send the puck in. Hamhuis takes control. And it deflects into Minnesota territory. And the Canucks are able to make a full change. 7 minutes to go in the second, a 1-1 tie. Pominville to Parise, gets around Edler. Parise towards the goal, centering pass knocked away by the sprawling Tanev. Now Lack blocks a centering pass by sprawling himself with the goal stick, and he's able to cover the puck.
Boy, Zach Parise is so quick right around Alex Edler, who ended up trying to dive back to get him. There's Edler trying to dive on Parise, protects the puck. A good play by Jason Garrison coming back, or that's Chris Tanev coming back. And then Eddie Lack gets caught on one post, but gets a stick back on the other post to block the second pass.
Alex Edler focusing in on the drop of the puck. He and Mitchell battle for it. Torrey Mitchell comes up with the puck in for Matt Cook, spinning away from Tanner. Now Edler comes back to help out. Caution moves down from the right point. In for Cook. Higgins takes the puck away and passes to an open wing at center. Matt Cook. Looks like that was from his own side of center, but play goes on. Tanev up for Hansen. Hooks the puck on the backhand, blocked by Brodziak. Ballard advances it for Mitchell, who skates back, almost lost the puck to Higgins. But Ballard there to pass to Stoner. And the Port McNeil product banks the puck down over the Vancouver blue line. Edler with a pass to Tanev. Trying to get away from Niederreiter at center. He flips the puck into the Minnesota zone. Schrader hustles in on Ballard and gives him a bump. Sestito throws a check, and Schrader winds up with the puck. Jordan Schrader to Ryan Stanton, broke his stick. And he'll have to try to defend without one as the Wild move up ice. Neatly in. Here's Niederreiter through the defense, and Eddie Lack able to steer the puck to the side. Schrader comes back the other way. Flips the puck over the Minnesota line. Wild get it. And Coyle controls in his own zone. Just under 5.5 minutes to go in the second period. Danny Heatley in neutral ice. That puck hits Schrader and deflects back into the Minnesota end. Here comes Suter. Up for Pominville. Parise takes the pass. Wrist shot off the chest of Eddie Lack, who traps the puck with his glove, takes the whistle. 5:03 to go in the second. It's still knotted at 1 here at Rogers Arena.
Against St. Louis, third period, Thompson Steele going to take a penalty for slashing the stick in half of Barrett Jackman. Now, it wasn't his last shift of the period. In fact, got out there and made the pass to Jannik Hansen that led to the game-winning goal. So, guys, I ask you, is this new strategy by Tortorella? Did he like the game of the fourth line, or is he going to try to extend the bench a little bit here down the stretch?
I think it's a matter of trust. And I think that John Tortorella saw that penalty that Tom Sestito got. And it was borderline a slashing penalty because the guy's stick broke. But you trust that he won't take one down the stretch. And I think that kind of trust you gain over the course of the season. And Tom Sestito has done that.
Paid off. Penalty killers helping with that as well. Perfect against the Blues in that game. Here's a penalty coming up for Ryan Kessler as he took down Granlund at the side of the goal. And Kessler will head off with 4:48 to go in the second period.
Ghislain Hebert made that call, and Ryan Kessler didn't like it one little bit. There's the stick, and Granlund goes down a little easier than Ryan Kessler would have liked.
3 power plays in the game. They have all gone to Minnesota, and the Wild are 1 for 2. Parise with the goal that tied the game. At about this point of the first period, Canucks control off the draw, and Tanev wastes no time sending the puck down into Minnesota territory.
Brad Richardson with a good face-off win there. He had a tough time in the first period.
Granlund, who drew the penalty, able to free up the puck for Danny Heatley. Back to Suter. Here's Pominville to Suter. Heatley with room. Shoots. Missed the net. Pominville collects the puck in the corner. Back to Suter with room. Side of the net. Parise couldn't handle the pass. Now he checks Andrews to the ice. Richardson after the puck. Can't get it by Pominville. Parise in front. Puck comes to Granlund. Throws it for Heatley. He's checked. Tanev can't get the puck out. Suter has it down to Mikael Granlund. Goal line feed. Parise in front. Grabbed by Eddie Lack. The pass intended for Pominville, but the goaltender didn't let it get through. Canucks shorthanded. They've been perfect a couple games in a row now, John, and maybe they're starting to stem the tide on a penalty kill that had started to wilt there for a bit.
Well, they got the shorthanded goal, but then gave up the power play goal by Parise in the first period. Very aggressive, so you gamble.
So the stretch of perfect games obviously won't reach 3, with Parise scoring in the opening period. Canucks came into the game still ranked 4th in the NHL, despite the recent struggles in the last month and a half or so. Canucks tying the puck up along the boards, killing time with 35 seconds to go on the man advantage for Minnesota. Wild now free up the puck, but it's past Spurgeon and out to center, so they have to regroup in neutral ice. Jared Spurgeon up the left wing to Niederreiter. He sends one wide of the Vancouver goal. Edler gets to the loose puck. Down for Henrik Sedin, who finds Alex Burrows. Bieksa thought about joining him. Now he'll drop off as Burrows moves into the shot off his stick and wide of the goal. Final seconds of the Minnesota power play, and Niederreiter turns back in his own zone. Canucks back to full strength as Minnesota moves in. Canucks wanted too many men on the ice there against the Wild. Play continues as Handhughes plays the puck forward. It deflects right to Kessler, who's in. Cuts wide, wrist shot, just wide. As he was being checked by Suter. Now Handhughes drives one towards the goal, and that missed the net as well. Higgins in for Richardson. Puck is by him. Kessler collects it. Ryan Kessler knocked down by Suter. Now has his stick knocked away by Suter. Or pardon me, it's Suter's stick that was knocked away. Here's Matt Cook. He's got Brodziak in front, but the pass was blocked by Chris Tanev. Lack scrambling back into the goal as Cook collected that puck along the boards. Handhughes drives it around. Niederreiter holds it in, but Higgins quickly up for Kessler, and the puck deflects off him and into the Minnesota zone. Brodin helps it along the board. Henrik Sedin after the puck. Daniels there as well. Kassian taking a turn here with the Twins after Alex Burrows performed penalty killing duty. Garrison holds the line. Wrist shot blocked in front by Prosser, and the Wild clear the puck out.
Prosser was without his stick.
Kassian deflects the puck back over the Minnesota line. Stoner shoots it right back out. Kassian controls at center. David Booth is onto the ice. Kassian steps over the line on the left wing. Steps around Stoner, who lunged at the Vancouver forward. Here's Booth in the corner. David Booth. Stanton. Garrison drives one. Tipped. Henrik Sedin on the deflection there. Now Kassian to Henrik. Across. Stanton. Garrison. Shoots. It got through. Kemper, but just went wide. He got enough of it to steer it off the target. And the puck on the clearing attempt goes off the glass and out for a whistle.
Puck comes back right through the legs of Darcy Kemper, but he gets a break. And here's the chance by Ryan Kessler. He didn't miss by much. Comes in on Ryan Suter. Goes wide. Here it comes. Comes in. Goes wide. puck's dancing a little bit, and it's off the toe, and just missed high blocker side on Darcy Kemper.
Canucks up to 20 shots in the hockey game, 10 in each period so far. Minnesota's had 19, 6 here in the second. Yannick Hansen down the right wing. Slap shot, stopped by Kemper. And he hangs on for the whistle with 47.1 seconds to go in the middle frame.
This period brought to you by McCain's new 4-meat Rising Crust Pizza. McCain, it's all good.
Face off in the Minnesota zone. Wild control. Suter gets the puck out. Coyle tips it to Parise. He plays the puck in behind the goal. Goes after it there. Collides with Alex Edler. 30 seconds to go in the second period. Burrows for Kessler. Maybe it wasn't because of the penalty killing duty. Maybe a little line juggle here for the Canucks. Burrows skating with Kessler and Hansen on this ship. And now he heads off as the Sedins come over the boards to join Yannick Hansen. We'll track the lines as we move through to the third period, because it looks like this second is going to wind up finished like the first two. Teams each scored in the opening frame. Ryan Kessler for Vancouver and Zach Parise for Minnesota. No scoring here in the middle frame as these teams head off again, deadlocked at 1. Our trade trackers coming up in the first intermission. We're going to examine the big deal today. Buffalo, St. Louis, Miller and Halak, and others as well. And the panel reconvene. Murph, Mac, and Tony G. 1-1 through 2 here in Vancouver.
Welcome back to Vancouver. 1-1 Canucks Wild. The summary brought to you by Panago Pizza. Before, during, and after the game, get a fresh Panago. Canucks out shooting the Wild 21-19, but look at the power plays. Wild have had 3. Canucks with none.
And ready to go, third period. You have a theory on that?
Well, you have a theory.
Oh, sorry.
That the Canucks will get the next power play for sure.
We'll test that theory.
Yes.
First whistle will be for icing against Minnesota. 1-1 the score. Here's how we got there.
Special teams, short-handed. Ryan Kessler, rich shot. Beats Darcy Kemper short side. And power play is Zach Parise through the screen of Danny Heatley. Beats Eddie Lack, high blocker side.
Kessler against Granlund on this face-off in the Minnesota zone. Wild control. Pominville can't get the puck out. Edler, long shot. He drilled that one off the target. The puck ricochets out to center. Tanev shovels the puck to Alex Edler. Now it's off Kessler's skate right back to Eddie Lack. Kessler leaves behind the goal. Tanev took the long way around. Now banks the puck ahead to Yannick Hansen. Pocket picked by Mikael Granlund. Suter back for the puck. Kessler on him. Spurgeon sends the puck around for Cook. And Granlund will settle it at his own line. Head to the bench after passing back to Jared Spurgeon. Suter's hard pass ahead for Fontaine. Too hot to handle. And Garrison collects the puck deep in his own end. Zach Cassidy leads the Canucks with 6 hits to this point in the hockey game. Brings the puck to center on the right wing. Now he moves in on Brodin behind the goal. Puck comes to David Booth. Booth checked by Nate Prosser. That comes out with the puck. Backhands it towards the goal. Wild taken away, and here comes Brodin to center. Up the left wing to Matt Cook. Pass for Brodziak didn't work. Booth wheels back for Vancouver and backhands the puck into Minnesota territory. Sedin's out with Burrows as we approach the 2-minute mark of the third. Niederreiter tips the puck in past Kevin Bieksa. Stanton is back. Gets the puck to Daniel Sedin. Now Henrik moving up ahead to Alex Burrows. He flips the puck deep into the Minnesota zone. Spurgeon goes back and passes to Suter. Ryan Suter ahead for Niederreiter. Couldn't take the pass. Canucks throw the puck ahead. Here's Henrik Sedin on the right wing. Henrik to Daniel, to the net. Stop by Kemper, and Daniel couldn't get a good shot away on the rebound. But he gets the puck to Henrik in the corner for Daniel. Daniel Sedin to Kevin Bieksa. Down for Daniel again, had to reach for it. Here's Burrows at the goal line. Pass to Henrik Sedin. Stanton sneaking into the slot, and Henrik threw the puck through the middle of the ice into the near side. Upended his Niederreiter as Bieksa got his stick in there. And the Wild's neatly able to come up with the puck and get it out. No icing as Stanton glided back for the puck, and he'll survey from behind the goal. Throws it up the middle right onto the stick of Jordan Schrader, who flips the puck into the Minnesota end. Stoner bumped by Sestito. Schrader gets the puck. Sestito tipped it at the side, and it went off the side of the goal. Puck sent out. Edler passes to Chris Tanev. He fanned on his pass. Wild try to take advantage. Eric Holla turns and sends the puck behind the net. Lack up the near side, and Sestito drops off for Alex Edler. Edler gains center, flips the puck in, and the Canucks make another full change 3.5 minutes into the third. Keith Ballard didn't like what he saw. Passes the puck over to Clayton Stoner. Cook couldn't negotiate that feed. Garrison back, rings around. Brodziak got a piece of it and just played it back in offside, but the puck deflects over the glass, and it'll be a face-off outside the Vancouver blue line.
Minnesota Wild are heading home right after the game tonight, and a lot of that has to do with Zach Parise and Ryan Suter after their long Olympic experience. The Wild were originally scheduled to go tomorrow. They'll get home at 4:30 tomorrow morning. Get to see the family. It's been a long time with the Olympics for the U.S. Olympians. Disappointing long time. Coming home empty-handed.
All three of those players on the ice for this face-off in the Vancouver zone. Richardson will take it against Mikael Granlund. Granlund led Finland with 7 points in 6 games at the Olympics. It's Parise settles into his left. Wow, Mark Wheeler taking forever to drop this puck. Finally does. Granlund back towards Suter. Pressured by Higgins. Here comes Richardson. Canucks have 3 through center. Kessler in on the right wing. Drops to Higgins. Wrist shot. Stop. Rebound. Kessler. Stopped by the right pad of Darcy Kemper, who looked like he was down and out. Kessler again on the backhand towards the net. And that was knocked away. Penalty coming up to Minnesota. The theory stands. Yes. And Spurgeon will head off as he cross-checked Brad Richardson.
Ryan Kessler showed great patience, but then just couldn't get it high enough to get it up and over. Kemper is down and out, but in desperation, sticks that right pad out, and Kessler can't get it up and over the pad.
Had the goal stick there, too.
And you can see it's just that right. He lifted the leg just a little bit, able to make the save.
First power play for Vancouver. After the Wild enjoyed 3 in the first 40 minutes, puck is by Edler, and the Canucks will have to start from their own zone. Canucks went 0 for 4 in the St. Louis game, just 3 for their last 38, ranked 28th in the NHL at just under 14%. Kessler. Henrik Sedin after the puck in the corner. Daniel gets it on the left wing. Now Daniel again. Diaz was sneaking in from the right point. This is a big reason why the Canucks went with 7 defensemen. They wanted Diaz on the first unit power play. Took till the third period before he got a chance. Brodin gets the puck by Henrik Sedin. Edler moves down to try to hold it in, and he's successful. Daniel Sedin in the corner, centers for Kessler. Wild knocked the puck away, and Cook plays it to the side for Kyle Brodziak, who backhands it all the way down the ice. Just over a minute to go on the man advantage for the Canucks. Henrik Sedin shifts to the left. Pass for Higgins broken up, and again the puck is driven down into Vancouver territory. John Tortorella frustrated at the bench. Kind of slumped his head down after that last failed entry. Canucks will try again. Burrows backhands the puck into the Minnesota zone. Kemper out of his net. Can't get it by Jannik Hansen. He shoots the puck around to the left point to Dan Hanhus. Garrison, the other point man, takes the pass. Garrison with a shot. Stick save by Kemper through the screen of Chris Higgins. Now the pass to the blue line is out of the reach of Hamhuis. Parisi gives chase on Jason Garrison. Garrison shields the puck, allowing Jannik Hansen to pick it up and skate out. 4 Canucks through center. Hansen over the Minnesota blue line. Leaves at the left point for Hamhuis. Down for Higgins. That's broken up. And again, the puck is cleared down the ice, this time by Stéphane Veilleux.
Eddie Lack was very close to handling that in behind the goal line.
Matt Cook with a hard hit on Dan Hamhuis. Wild back to full strength as David Booth rushes the puck up the ice. Booth to the left point to Stanton. Tried to flip one in front. That hit Brodin, and Spurgeon passes the puck to Cook. He wants off on a change, so he gains center and dumps the puck into the Vancouver zone. Kevin Bieksa starts out. 6.5 into the third. Kassian takes his pass. Puck knocked off his stick, but he goes after it again in the left-wing corner. One hands the puck around for Booth. David Booth being checked by Keith Ballard. Richardson takes the pass. Brad Richardson down the boards for Bieksa. Into the corner for Booth. Stanton sneaking into the high slot. Booth jams towards the goal. That was held out by Kemper. Bieksa with a shot. Intercepted by Ballard. And Keith Ballard passes up to Danny Heatley. Ahead to Niederreiter, trying to get around Richardson, who was back covering for Stanton. Wild still have the puck. Centering pass blocked. Now a shot from the side, and he lacked the save. He covers, and more jousting in front of the goal after the stoppage in play. Matt Cook is back at Rogers Arena, where he plied his trade for so many years, and he's doing it in Matt Cook fashion. A little jab at Alex Edler, and a hard hit on Dan Hamhuis in the Vancouver zone.
Piece of Vancouver sports history. The 94 Cup run. You can commemorate one of the club's most memorable years with the signed items from your heroes like Linden, McLean, Burry, and Ojic, just to name a few. These items are available in limited quantities, to be purchased at fanzoo.com.
They're all quality.
Yes.
It's a limited quantity, so jump on that if you want. Trevor, 1 of 4 to hang from the rafters here, number 16.
There's an old Flying V.
35.
That's Richard Brodeur's
Yeah.
35.
You see the odd 31,
Yes, yes.
usually occupied by an odd person.
They know their hockey.
Getting down to next goal wins territory with just under 13 minutes to go in the third, a 1-1 tie. First game back for Chris Tanev, and he's back out. Trying to work the puck out, blocked by Granlund. Hansen winds up with it, turns and lifts it down over the Minnesota blue line. Spurgeon out to center. Pominville advances the puck into the Vancouver zone, and they're going to call it icing for a face-off in the Wild end.
If you drive on snow and ice, you don't want all-season tires. You want all-weather tires. Get Nokian's most advanced all-weather tire, the WRG3 at Cal Tire.
Little ice problem in front of Eddie Lack. That last face-off, Ryan Kessler won that draw cleanly, and then the Canucks got in trouble. They went back against the flow, the defense, and that's one of those, when you win the draw cleanly as a centerman, you get ready to exit the zone, you think everything's going to happen smoothly, and it just didn't.
Repair work continues. It's a science, this process of fixing and making ice, and they're demonstrating that across the street, of course, at BC Place, where the Canucks and the Senators will play Sunday afternoon.
Well, they did such a great job in Los Angeles. Temperature 70 degrees, and ice was fine.
Well,
Dodger
you
Stadium.
think about it, everyone talked about it's going to be 70 degrees, but it's probably about what the temperature is in Rogers Arena right now.
Without the sun shining on it.
True. They could have opened the roof here today if it was possible. Here's Jannik Hansen. Alex Edler tried a wrist shot. Parisi got in front of that. Winds up with the puck, fires it ahead. This will likely be another icing. And one more face-off in the Minnesota zone. But first, it's Murph.
Guys, shop and swipe at Safeway, and you could be our next lucky winner on Sportsnet. You could win a week of unlimited luxury at Dreams Resorts and Spas, courtesy of redtag.ca.
do that during the Olympic break?
I did. Mexico. Kyle Granlund in his own zone with a pass to Zach Parise. Can't clear past the other Zach Kassian. Suter and Booth battle. Granlund digs the puck up and finds Jason Pominville. His pass tipped away by Garrison. Following up is Granlund. Checked as he tried to make a play. Cannot send the puck the other way. Brodin banks it to himself before passing back to Prosser. Sedin start to make their way back onto the ice as Coyle moves over the Vancouver line. Charlie Coyle in a battle with Dan Hamhuis. Here's Nino Niederreiter. Behind the net for Danny Heatley. Fans getting into it a bit as Heatley centers through the crease and out the other side. Brodin holds the puck into the left point. Garrison got in the way of that one. Daniel Sedin can't get the puck out. Here's Brodin again. Right point pass. Prosser with a shot. That's off a stick and over top of the net. Heatley from behind the goal. Hamhuis trying to stay with him. Jam play at the side. Loose puck dug free by Kassian. And he'll bring it out, banking it behind Prosser, but Brodin there to intercept. Kassian still out there, end of his shift. Takes a shot at Brodin. Burrows waiting, one leg over the boards, wants to get out to join his line mates, but their shift might be over before he gets a chance. Kassian able to tie up Stoner, allowing the puck to escape the zone. Now Burrows is out there as Henrik Sedin tried to pass that was difficult for Kevin Bieksa to negotiate. Ballard winds up with the puck for the Wild and banks it ahead to Brodziak. Burrows steals at center, carries back in with a slap shot, and that went over top of the goal. Stoner hit by Henrik Sedin. Sestito's onto the ice. Now a pass to the blue line. Bieksa left point. Stanson. Nice pass to Henrik. Back to Bieksa. One-timer, and that ticked off Sestito. I think it went wide. Sestito after the puck behind the goal. Now Burrows can't come up with it. Fontaine does, and he brings it out to neutral ice. Up the right wing for Matt Cook, who's just onside. Tries to throw it in front. Fontaine after the puck at the side of the goal. Leaves for Cook. Matt Cook to the blue line. Intercepting is Burrows, who turns to get away from Cook and is able to get the puck outside the line to center. We're past the halfway mark of the third. Still 1-1. The goals came in the first. Kessler shorthanded. Parisi on a power play. Sestito joined by his fourth line mates, Schrader and Diaz. And they break to center. Diaz takes the pass on the right wing. Slides the puck to the corner. Spurgeon goes back. Diaz blocked his path. Now Mitchell a chance to move the puck out. Spurgeon helping out. Will pass over to Suter. Up ahead to Hollow, drops back to Ryan Suter. Jason Pominville. And Spurgeon finds Suter. Wild patiently in their own zone before moving out. Granlund down the left wing. Centers the puck. Pominville couldn't get the shot off as he was checked by Chris Higgins. Puck held in by Brodin. Granlund to the front of the net. Blocked by Garrison, who sends the puck out to center. Wild drive the puck back in. Garrison double team. Pominville after the puck. Sends it to the other side. Granlund gives chase for Minnesota. Mikael Granlund turning to get away from Hansen. Banks back. Brodin left point. Wrist shot. Tip. Blocked by Edler after Pominville got his stick on it. Parisi tries to center, but that's intercepted by Hansen. And here he comes to center with Kessler. Jannik Hansen cuts to the middle and dumps the puck in. Brodin quickly clears it out. Tanev giving chase, and it'll be an icing call for a face-off in the Minnesota zone.
Well, the latest minor hockey team to get some Heritage Classic tickets, the North Shore Ice Crushers. These girls started the season with 15 players. 6 had never played hockey before. The goaltender that played 7% of the game never played goal before. They had some underagers. They started the season with just like 1 or 2 shots on net per game. Now they've got a playoff win. Well deserving, I'd say.
The best game during the Olympics was probably the gold medal women's game.
Yeah, for sure. For drama?
Yes.
Not unlike Canada, U.S. and soccer at the London Olympics. Well, that one didn't end as happily. No. Those north of the 49. Here's a steal by Alex Burrows. Took the puck away from Heatley. Carries quickly over the Minnesota line with a wrist shot. And Ryan Suter able to deflect that one out of play for a whistle. Under 8 minutes to go. Canucks won the Wild one. Anybody's game.
Burrows has had some problems. Timing. You've only played 29 games. This is game number 30. Okay, that should have been a one-timer. Instead, he tries to stop it. Watches his pass and gets nailed with a good clean check from Charlie Coyle. And then bad luck. That chip in. A good try, but just some bad luck. And then, again, the timing. Instead of shooting right away, hesitates, confidence, hesitates. And he is really, that's the way it's been going. But you miss a game. You miss a whole bunch of games, come back, play a little bit, miss a whole bunch of games again, and now come back. And hopefully for Alex, the Olympic break has put them on a level playing field with everybody else.
Out there with the Sedins on this shift. Just over 7.5 minutes to go in the third. Stanton hit by Cook as he flips the puck down to the Minnesota blue line. Canucks have only surrendered one shot to Minnesota here in the third. John Tortorella was very pleased with their effort in the third period against St. Louis, which they gave up just 3 shots to the Blues. Canucks break out. Henrik Sedin through center on the right wing. Chips the puck in. Daniel moves in after it on Spurgeon. Ties him up along the end boards. Henrik in to try to come up with the puck. Canucks outnumbering Spurgeon here. And Daniel had it momentarily. Goes after the puck again in the corner. Spurgeon taps it to the other side. Cassian's come on to replace Burrows. Trying to take the puck away from Suter, but he knocks it right to Jared Spurgeon, and the Canucks will complete their change as Minnesota takes control. Jared Spurgeon starts out. Pass to Suter. Up ahead for Niederreiter. Puck off his stick. Garrison takes control. Now hand-use to Cassian. Wild take the puck back. Keith Ballard. Over to Clayton Stoner. Played the puck in. Hand-use. Picks it up. Cuts in front of his own net. Tries to make a play at center. Richardson can't reach the puck. Cassian follows up though with a shot. Blocked by Stoner. Loose puck in front. Booth backhander, and that went off Kemper and just wide of the goal. Coyle clears. Edler to Cassian, who's in with some room. Trying to go through to the fence. Following up his Edler on the backhand. Puts one in front. Loose puck. And Kemper able to fall on it in the crease after knocking the initial shot down with the glove. Down to 5:52 to go. Is it next goal wins? Summary is brought to you by The Brick. Nobody beats The Brick for furniture, mattresses, appliances, and big screen TVs.
Ryan Kessler showing no ill effects from the sore hand, scored short-handed. Zach Parise's missed 15 games. Got his 20th goal of the season, and the Canucks, especially Zach Cassian in this game, has really been a physical presence. I like the way he's played in this one.
Kessler out with Higgins and Hansen. But it's the Wild getting the puck off the draw, moving it up ice. Parise throws on the brakes on the left wing. Hansen there to intercept his pass back. His pass deflects to Alex Edler. Up ahead to Kessler. Trying to get the puck to Higgins. That's broken up. Higgins steals it back and shoots it into the Minnesota zone. Got by Kemper. Hansen tried to center. Now takes a pass from Ryan Kessler. Yannick Hansen comes out front, and Kemper able to get in front of that shot. Puck held in by Tanev on the left wing. Hansen with a one-timer and kind of handcuffed Kemper. A fluttering shot, but he was able to track it and get it with the glove.
I think that might have hit Prosser on the way. And knuckleball, and you can see Darcy Kemper with a big grin on his face. R.A. Dickey would have been proud of this one. Off the toe, or the knuckle.
Not enough dip.
No,
the one on Tuukka Rask.
Yes.
That was a Yannick Hansen special, the knuckle puck from center. Kemper able to come up with that one. Face off to his right with 5:16 to go in the third. Daniel Sedin gets the puck to Burrows. Into the corner for Daniel. Behind the net for Henrik Sedin. Suter takes the puck away. And gets it ahead to Matt Cook. Cook across center to Spurgeon. Lead pass. Brodziak checked by Bieksa. And Henrik Sedin takes his pass up to Daniel. Daniel down the right side. Still with the puck. Puts it on the forehand. Shot stopped by Kemper. 30th shot for Vancouver. Here's Henrik Sedin in the corner. Takes the puck behind the net. Gets it back to Daniel. Daniel wide of the goal. Spurgeon. Up ahead for Cook. And Brodziak able to get the puck down inside the Vancouver blue line. Canucks 9 shots to 1 here in the third, but still a 1-1 tie. Minnesota played last night in Edmonton. David Booth gets a loose puck, gets it back to Garrison. He shoots wide of the goal. And Hughes on the left wing holds the puck in. Behind the net for Brad Richardson. Checked by Suter. Booth goes after the puck. Can't block the pass ahead for Veilleux, who relays to Eric Holla, and he tips the puck over the Vancouver line. Kassian loses the puck to Holla. Into the corner for Mitchell. Garrison's on him. After the puck in the corner is Jason Garrison. Gets it ahead to David Booth. He tried to hook it into the middle, but got away with it. And now follows up and tips the puck into the Minnesota zone. No icing as Keith Ballard goes back with 3:40 to go in the third. Both teams changing, and Ballard rushes to center. Banks one up for Niederreiter. Tanev couldn't find the puck. Niederreiter's onto it. Behind the net for Coyle. Centering pass blocked by Tanev. And on the backhand, he sends the puck off the boards and out. Sedins are back out there. Here comes Burrows. Cuts across the high slot. Finds Henrik Sedin, who just sent the puck right towards Niederreiter. Suter winds up with it. Dumps it around for Jared Spurgeon. Another quick change for Vancouver as the Sedins head off. Kessler line makes its way back out. Heatley in with a wrist shot. Gloved by Eddie Lack. He'll take the whistle, allowing us to check in once more with Dan.
John, Canucks TV presents All In with Daniel Sedin. Join Barry McDonald in conversation with Daniel as they discuss home, hockey, and racehorses. Sunday, March 2nd, 7:30 on Sportsnet Pacific.
Tony and Ian talking to Murph in between periods, talking about the big line, and they've had some chances in this game, and especially that one in the second period with Henrik Sedin on the 2-on-1, where it looked like he might pass Alex Burrows. Those are the kind that you really count on your top line to put away.
Suter off the draw with a wrist shot, and Lack, who hasn't been busy, has had to make a couple of quick saves in quick succession. Granlund checked by Richardson as he tried to make a pass. Higgins intercepts, gets to center, and dumps the puck in. Kessler after. Wild, though, worked the puck free to Mikael Granlund. He gets it out to center. Kevin Bieksa wrists it back in. Brodin goes back. Hansen shadowing him. Suter clears around for Parise. Hansen trying to knock the puck away. Comes to Brodin behind the net. His stick got caught in the boards. That allows Higgins to steal the puck. Back to Dan Hamhuis. Wrist one in front. Blocked by Suter. Tanev gets to the puck behind the net to Jannik Hansen. Tried to center. Puck loose in front of the goal. Wild come up with it. Clear it to the line. Gloved down by Kessler, but now tapped forward by Pominville. Canucks send it ahead quickly, and Kessler's back in. Leaves for Higgins. Chris Higgins to the corner. Round behind the goal, centers the puck, comes to Tanev, dishes over, here's Edler, shoots, blocked, another shot wide of the goal. Minnesota clears, Edler gloves the puck down at center. Good play in front of his bench to shield the puck. Work it forward and backhand it into the Minnesota zone. 1 minute, 40 seconds to go in a 1-1 tie. Canucks need points. Don't think I need to tell you that. David Booth takes a pass at center. And flips the puck in behind the Wild goal. Kassian on Ballard. Richardson as well, but Wild able to get the puck to Heatley, and he plays it back into Vancouver territory. Garrison around to Hamhuis. Pass ahead is a good one to Kassian. Heatley chasing him. Kassian drops neatly for Richardson. Brad Richardson tried to swing one on goal. Gets it again, and that's off the stick of Suter and way up in the air into the seats in the corner to the right of Darcy Kemper.
Canucks hockey on Sportsnet. Brought to you by Subway. Give into the bold taste of barbecue pulled pork at Subway restaurants. Just $5 for a 6-inch sandwich, but only for a limited time. Subway. Eat fresh.
Brad Richardson with a couple of attempts to get the puck on goal.
As Ryan Suter played him so well, just didn't give him any lane to get that puck to the net.
Just over a minute to go. Edler didn't quite hold that one in. It's a delayed offside. Kessler will tag up. And Spurgeon starts out. Put the puck into the Vancouver bench, trying to play it forward. There'll be a face-off just outside the Minnesota blue line with 51 seconds and change remaining.
John Tortorella looks up at the clock. His team has played very well here defensively in the third period, but the Ryan Kessler chance was a great chance. Daniel Sedin had one. Not a whole lot of sustained forecheck pressure.
Have outshot the Wild 9-3 in the third. Kessler trying to get the puck through for Hansen, does on the second attempt, and Jannik Hansen backhands it in. 40 seconds to go. Higgins trying to tie up Suter. Puck shot around to the left point. Edler's waiting there. In deep for Higgins. Chris Higgins makes a quick move to the near side. Back to Edler. Right point. Tanev missed the puck, takes it on the ricochet, dumps it in around for Hansen. Jannik Hansen had to go off the end of his stick, and Pollenville gets the puck out to center to Parise. Can't get it by Edler, tips it forward. Here's Higgins. Backhanding the puck into the Minnesota zone, and Canucks will make one last change with 10 seconds to go. Ryan Suter to Matt Cook. Tips the puck in, and that will do it for regulation. Canucks will get at least 1 point out of this one. Darcy Kemper, the busier of the two goalies, and they each surrendered but one goal through 60 minutes.
And both goalies were good, but you said the Canucks need the points. Well, the Minnesota Wild, they want to finish third in the division, and they're right there. They can do that. So they need points and want to keep their roll going. They've been the best team in the Western Conference since January 1st.
It's been a while since these two teams went to overtime, and the hero that night, a guy that just picked up a medal in Sochi.
Kessler carries back in. Canucks on a 4-on-3 power play in overtime. 25 seconds left. Shallow lets it go. He scores! Shallow ripped it. And the Canucks win 3-2 in overtime. One of three Sammy Salo overtime goals against Minnesota, if you can believe it. Mike Gillis knows his team has a single point. Says, I won't shave until they get another one tonight. He's rocking the goatee.
Yes, he is.
Canucks 8-3 in games decided in overtime against Minnesota. I mentioned Salo had 3 goals for Vancouver in overtime against the Wild. Daniel Sedin's had a couple. Henrik has one. Others to Matthias Olin and Brendan Morrison.
I remember that goal Sammy Salo scored. Remember one of the Minnesota Wild went and changed their stick? One of the penalty killers broke a stick and then went to the bench, and Sammy blasted it by, and he was in the penalty box complaining, and it was one of those great Sammy shots, but a comedy of errors.
Canucks would take one of those comedies right now. There's Daniel Sedin. Every time he comes out in overtime, we remind you that he's the club's all-time leader in regular season overtime goals, but it's been a while since he scored one. 10 in his career. One better than Brendan Morrison in club history. Wild control to start. Overtimes this season. Minnesota's 2-3. Canucks are 6-3. And Henrik Sedin pressuring, trying to come up with the puck, but Charlie Coyle has it, and he's through center with Jason Pominville. Coyle down the left wing, trying to cut in front. Garrison did a good job there. And Handhus taps the puck free to Henrik Sedin. Henrik leaves for Daniel. Daniel leaves for Henrik. Henrik to Daniel. Now Tanev gets in on the act. To Henrik Sedin. Down for Daniel. Hey, there's Henrik. Cutting in front on the backhand. Henrik got in too deep. Round behind the net. Passes to Tanev. Daniel Sedin takes the feed. In front for Henrik. Couldn't get it through the pile. Handhus on the backhand. Shoveled it wide of the goal. Good possession, but the Canucks never got the clean look they wanted. And here comes Ryan Suter the other way. In on Handhus. Handhus got a piece of him. Tanev over for the puck. Suter gets it, comes out front, shovels it back. Here's a quick shot, blocked as Tanev went down in front of that Parise offering. Oh, Parise hit Tanev head first. There'll be a penalty. Delayed call. Canucks get the goalie to the bench. Here's Ryan Kessler, shoots, and Kemper got a piece of that. Brodin gets the puck, there's the whistle. And it'll be Parise to the penalty box and a power play in overtime for the Canucks. Tough night for Chris Tanev.
Chris Tanev made such a great block after the Canucks mishandled it beside their own net. And here comes Parise, and you can see that's that danger zone. And he gives Tanev the shot from behind. Tanev blocks the shot, and here's Parise. Henrik Sedin and Tony and Ian talked about it, this big line. Now here's a chance, confident backhand. No, goes all the way around, the little hesitation, and he plays himself in behind the net when things aren't going well. That's it, you get that little hesitation. We talked about Alex Burrows and Henrik Sedin showing that same hesitation.
Timeout called. Sedin's had that long shift to start overtime. They're going to want them out there on this 4-on-3 power play along with Ryan Kessler and Jason Garrison. Mike Bernstein's had several conversations with Chris Tanev.
And you wonder if it's the blocked shot or the hit into the boards that hurt Chris Tanev on that play.
He was slow to get up after the hit, that's for sure. Yeah, I feel it too.
The power play starts now.
Canucks have an overtime win on a power play already this season. Ryan Kessler in St. Louis. And they look to register another one here as they go to work with the man advantage against Minnesota. Daniel Sedin collects the puck in the corner. Sends it back towards Garrison, but it never got there. Brodziak intercepts. Cook is with him, but the Canucks break it up, and here comes Kessler. In with Daniel Sedin. Kessler cuts in front. Kessler didn't get a shot away. Puck is in States. Henrik comes in looking for it. Brodziak had it momentarily. Henrik gets it back to Jason Garrison. Canucks set up. Henrik settles the puck to Garrison. Drove it, trying to find Daniel Sedin, who took it on the carom. Now Henrik. Down to Daniel. Garrison shoots just wide. Didn't miss by much on a rocket. Now Kessler has his stick broken as it was chopped. He'll kick the puck behind the net to Daniel Sedin. Kessler hustles towards the bench to grab a new stick. Roberto Luongo hands him one. And Kessler's back into the play. Henrik Sedin. High slot. Down to Daniel. Back to Garrison. Shoots, and that was blocked by Brodziak. Henrik Sedin gets the puck on the right side. Minute to go on the power play. Here's Garrison again. Henrik Sedin. Garrison with room. Lets it go. Again, he put it off the target. Kessler gets the puck on the left side. 45 seconds to go on the power play. Kessler with a shot blocked. Henrik Sedin, top of the circle, right wing. Moves to the middle. Switches sides with Garrison. Henrik to Kessler. Kessler to Henrik Sedin. Garrison shoots. Stopped by Kemper. Loose puck on the near side. Henrik Sedin picks it up. Wild penalty killers sagging. Garrison has the puck, middle of the ice. Over to Kessler, to Garrison. Kessler shoots, blocked, and the puck cleared to the line, knocked down by Garrison, but Brodziak there to backhand it down the ice. Crosser blocked that shot, and he's shaken up going to the bench. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Alex Edler's onto the ice. Edler, pass to Daniel Sedin. Near side, Henrik. Hansen's come on as well. Henrik Sedin, back to Alex Edler. Daniel Sedin, penalty's over. Edler with a blast, blocked. Parise's at center, hoping for a pass. And the Wild will move out with numbers. They're 3-on-1. Paula over the Vancouver line. Pass to Parise. He stops, drops. Brodin at the blue line. Dumps the puck to the corner for Parise. Goes behind the net. Granlund after it. Henrik Sedin is still out there. He's been out a while, over 2 minutes. And he's slowly heading to the bench as Hansen rushes up ice. Yannick Hansen cuts the middle. Hansen shoots wide of the goal. The X is after the puck and couldn't get to it as Kemper was in front of him. Final minute of overtime, and Granlund comes back with a pass to Parise. He drops for Suter. Ryan Suter, wrist shot stopped by Lack. Loose puck, and it winds up in the corner. Parise gets it back to Spurgeon. Other side, Suter, watched by Higgins. Here's Spurgeon down the right wing. Jared Spurgeon towards the goal, and that hit the side of the net. Edler, he's tired. Long shift for him. Puck behind the net. Granlund has it, and Edler was able to knock it away. Pominville's come on. He throws one in front, and Bieksa tapped that to the side. Richardson able to sprawl and knock the puck to center where Spurgeon controls for Minnesota. Here comes Charlie Coyle down the right wing. Coyle with a shot, that one over top of the net. Puck ricochets the other way. Higgins giving chase on Ballard, who's able to get there first. Dying seconds of overtime. It looks like these two teams are going to go to a shootout for the second time this season as time expires on Richardson. Puck went in after the horn. And it'll be a shootout to decide this one between the Canucks and Minnesota as Vancouver failed on the power play that didn't produce a lot in the way of opportunities. It was a power play brought to you, as always, by Subway. Give in to the bold taste of barbecue pulled pork at Subway restaurants. Just $5 for a 6-inch sandwich, but only for a limited time. Subway, eat fresh.
Canucks on a power play, and Ryan Kessler has his stick slashed and broken.
After 3 shots by each team, the shootout will proceed.
Matt Cook being the slasher, and no penalty call. That would have been a tough one to call if I was refereeing on that one. And the referees decided not to call it.
Canucks wound up with just 1 shot in overtime, same as Minnesota. And we mentioned these teams back in December went to a shootout. Santorelli foiled by a post, and this was Jason Pominville, which meant Kessler had to score.
That's Josh Harding in net for the Wild at the time.
So Minnesota winning that one 3-2 in a shootout. The Wild are 6-4 in shootouts this season. Canucks 3-6. And Vancouver head-to-head with Minnesota through the years 1-4. So the Wild have had the Canucks number when it comes to shootouts.
See John Tortorella and Mike Sullivan talking things over, writing down the third name. That's Mike Yeo writing down.
Parise, Coyle, and... Is that Prosser? Third name?
No, you wouldn't have Prosser.
I don't know. It's what it looked like to me. Of course,
Pominville would be. It starts with a P.
Yeah, and it ends in a
There,
9.
go with
There
their
you
go with their leading scorer.
Yeah, that might be an idea.
No, let's go with it. No, I couldn't read it either. It started with a P.
Can I complain about no HD? I mean, maybe we had HD up here. We could have read it.
Oh, now, yes. That's a good point.
Someday. Canucks have changed their strategy in terms of practicing shootouts. John Tortorella incorporating it into practice sporadically rather than doing it all at the end. They do it in between drills and says he's liked the results so far. Let's see if they can get a result out of it in their first attempt since kind of tinkering with things in the way they practice it.
You see he's talking to Zach Cassian now.
Just go and score, Zach.
Yes,
That was the message.
yes.
Cassian's going to go first for Vancouver, but the Canucks are going to defer to the Wild and let Minnesota shoot first.
I like Zach Cassian as a shooter in the shootouts. Rather carefree, doesn't let the pressure get to him.
0 for 2 this year, 1 for 5 in his career. There's Eddie Lack. And who can forget his first shootout in Chicago? Am I right? Going off the top of my head. There you go.
There we go.
Pominville, you're right. See? 29, not 30.
Yes. He's got 22 goals this year.
So Parise will shoot first. And Minnesota, as mentioned, 6-4 in shootouts this season. Eddie Lack will try to move them closer to 500 as he goes up against Darcy Kemper in this one. Parise's 3 for 8 on the season. He's had 77 attempts in his career, scored on 35 of them.
Darcy Kemper's one shootout win was in Los Angeles. They got outshot 40-17, and he won the shootout 2-1.
Stopped all 4 in the shootout. Eddie Lack stealing himself as he gets set to face Zach Parise here to start things off. Slowly in is Zach Parise. Eddie Lack closed the door.
Good read by Eddie Lack. forcing Zach Parise to come in tight. Got well outside the crease, well outside. That forces the guy to come in real close. He's not going to shoot it from out there when you're that far out. And he tried to go 5-hole, and Eddie Lack closes it down.
Maybe they should have used Prosser. Here's Zach Cassian. The right hand forward. Side to side. Now picks up speed. And couldn't get it by the right pad of Kemper.
Darcy Kemper stayed right with him. Got the leg down. Made the save. Zach Cassian trying to lull him to sleep with the serpentine move. And Kemper got the leg pad down. I think Zach wanted to get it a little higher than that.
Charlie Coyle, all 3 of his attempts in his career have come this season. He scored on one of them, and that decided the game. And he put it wide as he tried to go high to the glove on Eddie Lack.
Charlie Coyle's a big, tall guy. I'm surprised he doesn't deke more often. He does shoot most of the time. This time comes in and just tries to go high glove side. Had a little room, but just shot it high.
Alex Burrows, 3rd attempt of the season. Will he go to the pack, deep to the backhand, shot to the roof? Yep, but he didn't get it up, and Kemper got the left pad down.
Kemper forces, much like Eddie Lack did on Zach Parise, you force the guy to deke when you come out as far as he did to start with, and Kemper's able to react. He's way out, and then he's able to react, and as you said, Alex wasn't able to get it up and over that glove.
The third shooter for Minnesota, number 29, Jason.
Here's Pominville, shooter number 3. And Eddie Lack was able to stop him again, giving his team a chance to win. It'll be Chris Higgins after this stop by Eddie Lack. Pominville on the forehand and got the bottom of the glove on it. Chris Higgins to make it 2 straight wins for Vancouver. Oh, he just missed.
Man.
Had an opening. And Kemper with the right toe and some help from the post held it out.
Chris Higgins danced to the forehand. He's got the goalie, but Kemper is so big, and you see that stretch. Look at Kemper, post to post. Being able to get the toe on it.
Here's Mikhail Granlund as you move into round 4. And Lack dragged the right pad to hold that one out.
Mikhail Granlund tried to get Eddie Lack to move first. He tries to fake that he's going to go backhand, and Lack just stayed right with him, got the right pad down, made the save. Granlund's going to drag it, and just couldn't drag it by Eddie Lack.
Jordan Schrader again for the win. And he can't beat Kemper, so we'll go to round 5.
And there's Jordan Schrader, fakes with the, and Kemper didn't bite at all on the fake wrist shot, and he's able to stand right in there with him.
Nino Niederreiter as a nervous John Tortorella looks on. Lack out to challenge. Niederreiter, glove saved by Eddie Lack, and the fans are loving this.
Niederreiter, he's trying to go higher than he gets it, and Eddie Lack, glove open facing the shooter. Look what I got.
Rafi Diaz to shoot for Vancouver. And this is his first ever shootout attempt. Diaz off the glove of Kemper. And the goalies are carrying the day so far in this one. 10 shots and no goals.
I was wondering when Danny Heatley would jump over the boards. Here's Rafi Diaz, and he didn't get Kemper to move at all. He had nothing to shoot at by the time he let that one go.
See Danny Heatley's career numbers there. 6 for 33. This, though, is first attempt of the season. Slowly. And a blocker save by Eddie Lack.
Eddie Lack has been just so patient. Danny Heatley comes in, almost stops. And look where Lack is. Stayed right at the top of the crease. And Heatley just shot it at him.
Fans come to life as Ryan Kessler jumps over the boards. Got the only goal in regulation, short-handed. Can he win it in a shootout? No! I think Kemper got a piece of that with his glove.
I think he did too. Now Ryan Kessler beat Kemper stick side. This time he tries to go glove side, and Kemper stays with him. Glove open up, and Kessler off the toe of the glove. That probably would have missed anyway.
First career attempt for Justin Fontaine. Round 7. No goals. Can Lack stop another one? Fontaine scores! Outweighted him and slid it along the ice, and Minnesota draws first blood.
Well, Fontaine comes in and fakes the shot, and Eddie Lack starts to open up. And once he opens up, there's the fake shot, and Eddie started to go and then got stretched out, and it leaves a lot of room 5-hole.
David Booth has to score now. Trying to extend the shootout. Booth spins, and Kemper stayed right with him. Minnesota wins it in a shootout. And Darcy Kemper, perfect. 7 shooters, no goals. Minnesota wins 2-1.
Well, David Booth tries to spinorama, and you can see Kemper stayed right with him. Wasn't going to have any of that. The Mason Raymond spinorama didn't work. Kemper didn't go at all. Seemed a good lateral movement by Kemper. Plants that right skate, slides across, and stopped David Booth.
Darcy Kemper, coming off a shutout performance last night in Edmonton, pitches a shootout shutout against the Canucks, stopping Kassian, Burrows, Higgins, Schrader, Diaz, Kessler, and finally David Booth. Justin Fontaine, the only goal of the shootout. Minnesota wins back-to-back nights as they take it 2-1 here in Vancouver.
Canucks were looking to begin the post-Olympic schedule with back-to-back wins. Scored first in this one thanks to Ryan Kessler. After that, gave up a power play goal. In this one, they had 6 chances to win it in the shootout. Couldn't get it done. Minnesota, for the second time this season, over Vancouver in a shootout. Next up on Sportsnet, the Coyotes on Tuesday.